Hi, everybody, and welcome to our first ever hangout. I've now spent a good 20 minutes feeling stupid and doing like the same monkey task over and over and over with zero results. So I'm not on a hangout right now. Well, I am actually. I'm with Sharon and Wade and Anne, although I only see what looks like maybe a carpet square on Anne's screen. But we tried to figure this out, and I couldn't do it because I don't know how to verify my YouTube account without making these lovely people wait even longer than they already have. So anyway, hello, and sorry to keep you waiting if you've been waiting. What we're going to do, because I have to put these in little tiny snippets, so I'm going to do individual questions or maybe a couple of questions per video rather than one long video, and I'll embed them all onto the page. I'll get started. Do you guys, since you're here in person, you guys want to ask questions first? I feel like we have talk radio on in the background. uh, okay, it disappeared. That's great. Okay, so awesome. That was a really, really fun little interlude. Okay, so what's the advantage of um no, go ahead. Well, Smashwords. The big benefit of Smashwords is that it's kind of like a global dashboard. So you can take one book, and by using Smashwords, you can have it available at Barnes and Noble or Nook or Kobo, Amazon, Smashwords itself, which is actually a pretty decent place for getting downloads. It's just kind of a universal. The problem with it is what its main benefit is. The main benefit is that with one document uploaded there, it can get formatted and put to all the different places. The problem with that is that it's kind of a meat grinder. So you put it's like a Dr. Seuss thing, like a Wordomatic, where you just put your doc in there, it's all and it spits out into like 84 different formats. You can get Mobi, EPUB, PDF, HTML, like really whatever you want. But it's not pretty. It's because it has to do this universal solution. It's not the best solution. Now, for us, we use it when we want to have a certain title that's everywhere. Now, having said that, we don't use it very often. The reason is because most of our business is at Amazon, so we don't want to waste a lot of time putting our stuff everywhere. Now, that's not necessarily the smartest thing to do. It's the smartest thing for us to do. But that's because we have new content every week. So for us if we only had one book a quarter, then it would be easy to take each book and make sure that we maximized it in every way possible. Got ebook versions, print versions probably, podcast versions, audio, whatever it was. We would make sure we were at Apple and Barnes and Noble for sure. But for us, when 95% of our business is going to come from Amazon, it makes sense to take that same amount of time and just write another book and put it on Amazon. And again, that's not necessarily the best answer, but it's totally what works for me and what I would recommend. Wait. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Actually, that's funny because it was one of the last ones that I got, but I liked it so much that I put it at the top, which was, if you could rewind to 4 years ago, what would you do differently? What would you do the same? Thanks. See you on the hangout. So, yeah, I love this question because what I would do is what I actually started out doing, and I got so diverted so quickly because I'm such a like shiny penny squirrel kind of guy that it's really, really funny because I go back to 2008 and the things that I was saying back then are exactly what I'm doing right now. I had a concept called WeBooks, and the whole idea behind WeBooks was that there were these little bite-sized books for like anywhere from 99 cents to $4.99. This was in 2008. And that I would just build up my own audience and sell direct. And that if I got a big enough audience, but I didn't know anything about blogging and how hard it was to convert a blogging audience back then. I had no clue. And I was thrilled when I launched my first thing and it made like $60. And it was just a book that I wrote. But I didn't realize at the time that that was because those people really liked me. And that was all it was. It was a pity buy. Like I got like 40 people to drop $1.50, like just to say, high five, man, you're doing it. But that's not sustainable. And it wasn't until I had the mass broadcast of Amazon and I could basically, I don't have to worry about the broadcast. I can worry about the quality of the product. And that's a big difference between the two things, right? So now I'm not really worried about the broadcast. I mean, I am, but I'm more worried about just I firmly believe the best business model is quality. So all I have to do is continue to put those books out, make sure they're the best they can possibly be, and hit one a week. Every week, I have one more asset than I did the week before. And if I had known that 4 years ago, I would not have wasted on any of the other stuff. Having said that, I'd probably be foolish, because if I had done that, I'll say it this way. I wanted to have more fun faster. And if I could go back in time, I would have had fun earlier. I would have just written fiction earlier. I would have stayed away from the content grind and the stuff that makes me want to claw my face off, because it's so like soul sucking. So I would, yeah, well, some of the copywriting is really fun, but here's the flip side of that. Sure, I would have more assets now. I would have more books now, and I would definitely be making more money now. But I think over the life of my career, I'm going to make a lot more because of those 4 years. Because I know how to write like a machine. Because I know how to do without. Because I know how to play the long game and go hungry, because the end result is better. And I've done that all year. I've played a much longer game. I'm thinking about 2013, not about 2012. And those kinds of things have made a massive difference in who I am as a creator and an entrepreneur. The copywriting that I learned, really tells me how to tell a story, how to leave an open loop, how to write a product description. So those things that I learned on accident in my hurry to get to where I am now are really make me a stronger writer and a stronger, not just someone who can get the work written, but who can ultimately get it sold. So even though those years were hard, and if I could go back and tell myself, I'd be really tempted to say, dude, just start with the fiction, man. I actually think all the things that I learned along the way were of a benefit. But I would tell myself to start the asset sooner. I would tell myself to get that first one done, because there's this block. Everyone has it with their first book. Like, they're either super excited to just get it done, that they don't care about the quality, or they're in their head too much and they overthink it and never get it done. Both are equally evil. You really want to find the middle ground. Put out the very best product you can, but get it out. Like, don't let it sit inside you, because anything that sits inside you for too long, it rots. It's just like fruit, right? So, all right. That's it for this one. I'm going to be right back in another second, because this is a 10-minute video already. All right. See you in a second.